Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today is the fifth and final day of the LindSport Sew Along. Today we'll be putting together the backpack. You should have at the beginning of today a back piece, a front piece, and now we'll be working on the gusset and the zipper closure. So set those aside for now and grab your zipper that has the double pull. If it's pre-made, if not, put your own double pull in it and seal in those ends. Again, I will link the video where I show you how to add a double pull. You're basically putting a zipper on both ends and then they meet in the center, so this creates a double pull, easier to open. And you have your zipper panels, so let's start working with those. For the zipper panel, you should have 2 linings and 2 main, and we'll start working with one at a time. So place your zipper right sides together with the zipper panel and stitch it along the zipper. I will remove any excess zipper that I have over there. I think yesterday was the most difficult day. Today is really not that difficult. Okay, so place your zipper. Keep your zipper pulls out of the way. Okay, now you're going to take one lining piece and you're going to place it on top of this, right sides together with the main panel, like so. And I like to stitch along the previous stitching line, so I'll stitch from this side up. Okay, also going to remove any excess zipper while I'm here. And now open it up, bring your lining and main wrong sides together, like so, and top stitch 1/8 of an inch away from the zipper, the fold. And then we'll be repeating this exact same steps on the other side. This is what it looks like with one side finished. Now, if you have directional fabric like I do, make sure that it stays the way you wanted it to. So now I like to have mine facing this way towards the front. So again, I'm doing the exact same steps as I did before. Okay. And again, we're going to add the lining, right sides together with the main, and the zipper is sandwiched in between, and we're going to stitch, or I'm going to stitch on top of the previous stitch line. And once again, we're going to top stitch with the zipper panels wrong sides together. And like so. So all this so that the raw edges meet. Gorgeous. Okay, so this is what it should look like from the inside and from the outside. Okay, now take your main gusset. And again, if you're using directional fabric, make sure it faces in the same direction. Right here. See, mine is facing this way. Not this way. I look at the frog. I'm looking at the chocolate frog. So the chocolate frog is facing this way, so this will face this way. Which means now I'm placing my zipper panel and the gusset like so, and I'm stitching with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so now you want to take the lining and place it on the back. This is the lining piece. You place it on the back so it's right sides together with the main, and the zipper panel is in between. And I'm going to stitch on top of the previous stitch line. 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, let's top stitch. So bring your lining and main wrong sides together, and let's top stitch on this side. We're going to be repeating the exact same thing but with the other side, so we can create a loop. Okay, so bring your zipper panel and your main, so zipper panel and main, right sides together, like so. Then you bring your lining like this, so it's right sides together with the main, and the zipper panel is sandwiched in between. Okay, so this is the wrong side, and we're going to stitch with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, flip it so it's the right sides are out, and top stitch just as we did previously. So right now what you could do as an additional step extra, but helping you when you put together the backpack, would be to run a basting stitch along the raw edges. This way it will hold all your layers together. So see, instead of having two layers that are separated right here, you can run a basting stitch all around, and it will hold the layers together. So a long stitch. This way you don't have to worry about them moving and separating when you put together the bag. Like that. And one along the other side. So now let's put together the whole bag. Let's mark the quarter points, and I can see that the quarter points are pretty close to the edge, where the gusset meets. So it's like right here, where the gusset meets the zipper panel. Let's start with the back. And I should have my markings done on the back. Yes, I do. And I do. Okay, we're going to place this right sides together. Again, if you have a preference how your design will go on the panel, make sure that you follow your preference. So I want mine to look like this from the front, which means this goes in the back, which means this will be right sides together right here. And then I'm going to pin on the bottom, right sides together, where the markings are. Okay, so this is what I'm doing, and then pin all around. Make sure that your hardware is out of the way. The last thing you want to do is hit that with your needle and hurt yourself. And then we're going to pin all around. Keep the straps away, keep the hardware away. You don't want to sew through all of that. And then you have to decide if you find it easier to sew from the back or from the gusset side. It depends on your machine bed or your comfort level. Okay, so straps are out of the way. Everything is out of the way. So now we're going to stitch all around. I might find it easier to stitch with the back down. Only the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Go slow, especially where the connectors are. Keep your raw edges aligned. Go slow, you're not in any rush. Okay, back stitch when you get to the end. So now it should look something like this. And you should have raw edges all around. But that's not a problem because we're going to enclose those raw edges in the binding. But before I add the binding, I'm checking to make sure everything is correct. No puckering, no problems. Okay, here I missed a little bit. In the seam allowance I went too little with it. But because I checked, I can fix it easily. Oh yes, much better. Okay, so now we are ready to add the binding. So you should have 2 strips of 40 inches of waterproof canvas, preferably matching your lining. In my case it's not matching because I simply didn't have any. And your thread should also be matching, but again I'm not worried about that. But if you match your thread and you match your lining to the binding, then you should have no problems getting a beautiful look on it. So I'm going to fold one of the raw edges, and I'm going to start from the side that's not folded and simply place my binding like so, folding it in half along the edge. You can pin it in place. If you want to go wild, you can stitch it without pinning it in place. Whatever is comfortable for you. I personally tend to not pin in place and just fold as I go and stitch. But I know a lot of people do prefer to pin it in place first. So we are going to do this all around, and when you get to the end, you're going to put the folded edge on top. And then you're going to stitch. Super easy, the easiest way to add binding if you ask me. And again, if your binding matches the fabric, it will blend in and it will look absolutely perfect. Mine obviously won't blend in, and the thread will not blend in, but it's okay because it's for a sew along, so I can show you how it looks like easier with the contrasting thread. See, I'm used to not folding it and just pulling as I go. I find it easier to not put clips and just pulling as I go and folding like so. Slow your speed around the curve. your fingers out of the way. Another good tip, especially from somebody who's done the wrong stuff before. Okay, so once you get to the end, fold your waterproof canvas 1/2 inch so you enclose the raw edge. And go over the initial part. And again, keep in mind this will look a lot nicer if it's matching the thread and matching the lining with the binding. So this is it. And now we're going to open up the zipper. Don't forget to open your zipper, okay? Okay, on both sides. And we'll repeat the same step on the front. Again, placing the front right sides together, matching the halfway points. And we'll do exactly the same thing. We're going to pin, stitch, add binding. And I do think binding is my preferred method when it comes to little backpacks. I don't know if you've seen, I've done a video with the battle of the mini backpacks here on my channel. And in there I compare some of the most popular and my favorite mini backpacks, including the Lind's handmade one. And I talk about how they're each finished, if they're drop-in, if they're binding, if they're birth. So definitely check it out if you're interested in seeing what other mini backpacks are out there and various styles. Alright, now let's stitch. Slow around the curve. Especially the bottom corner curve. I don't know why I find that one to be the most difficult. Before you add the binding, like I said before, take a look inside the backpack, make sure everything is stitched properly so you can fix it prior to adding the binding if you need to. Looking here, looking good. Okay, looks good. Take your other binding piece and you're going to attach it exactly the same as you've attached the first one. Start at the bottom, fold it in half, and again I'm going to stitch and fold as I go. Slow at the curve. Man, my chair is squeaky. So I do apologize if you hear my squeaky chair in the background. It's pretty, but it didn't last long. Again, I fold in half as I go. And when you get to the end, the other side, fold in half the raw edge. Fold the raw edge about half an inch, sorry, that's what I meant. Half an inch, and then overlap and stitch. Keep in mind, again, yours will look much nicer if you've used the same color binding as the lining and the matching thread. So this is what it looks like with the binding. Now you'll have to just turn your backpack inside out and you're finished. And the binding will also keep the seams nice. That's another reason why I like binding for backpacks, because they keep the seams really nice on the outside. Mine is vinyl, that's why it takes a little muscle to turn it. If yours is made of woven, it's no big deal to turn it. I'm also trying to protect my nail extensions. So that's why I'm pushing with my knuckles, not my fingers. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And like I said, the binding keeps these seams really nicely done, so they look really pretty from the outside. Okay, if you can press your seams like this, you should. If not, you can just pull them really well, maybe add a few clips overnight to press the seams, but it looks so pretty. Okay, and now let's see the straps. Let's finish the straps that we added on day 3, and then add some charms. Okay, so you can do this step 2 ways. I like to leave this so it's adjustable. So you're going to take one strap and push it through the adjustable strap. Make sure that it's a it's a slider that moves. See, let me take this out so you can see what I mean. So you want this bar to be a movable bar, the one from the, because then it locks in when you pull the strap. So take your strap, pull it up through the first part to the left, pull it down, then go through the D-ring, the rectangle ring here, and then back up and back down here, and you will want to stitch this down, or you can put a zipper end if you left this part raw. Okay, so then you can either add a rivet here or stitch it down, whatever works for you. Make sure before you stitch it that the straps are not twisted. Okay. I will stitch it down. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the other strap. Okay, so this is one. Take your other strap and your other slider. So pull your strap through the slider. Without dropping it, preferably. Then down on the other side, like so. Okay, so the bar is in between. Then this end, you'll take it through the connector, rectangle ring, and then you're bringing it back up on the left here, and back down here, so it looks like this from the side. And now you're going to stitch it down. So, trying to match them, so about an inch, and then you stitch it down. And this concludes your sew along. This concludes your sewing part. I'm going to add my charms and show you the finished backpack. So I have my cute charms. They will be available for retail as well, along with the vinyl. And this is the chocolate frog and a butterbeer. Ah, I love butterbeer. Anybody else loves butterbeer? So good. I like it warm and cold. My favorite is cold. I know a lot of people prefer it warm, but I like it cold better. So I'm going to add my charms to my zipper. So I have the Luna glasses and the charms. How cute is this? And there you go. This is adorable, adorable. So let me zoom you out a little bit. This is the LindSport. Absolutely cute. Outfit of the day is Yasmin, I think. Yasmin from Sinclair. If anybody is interested in the outfit of the day. Thank you so much for joining me and sewing with me this cute backpack. Okay, let me put it on so you can see it on. It's adorable. Isn't it super cute? I love it. Thank you again for joining me. Don't forget to snap a photo of your completed LindSport and check in with your finished photo in the comments of day 5 album. You find the album in the Sew Along group on Facebook. I will assign you a number, and then on Friday I will randomly pick a winner from everyone that checked in throughout the week, including the last day. And the winner will get a gift card from Backstitch, a stocking pass, and 3 patterns of choice from Lynn's Handmade. Again, all the hardware I've used and the zippers are from Wizardry Stitchery and Crafts. The vinyl will be available for retail from Backstitch Prints, and the webbing is also a Backstitch Print watercolor webbing. Thank you again for joining me, and I will see you back here in my next one. Mwah. Bye!